Unicorn, it's Ellie. Okay, so this is a struggle for some wholesalers simply because it's a hit or miss thing, just like everything else in real estate. And that is finding a good title company to work with. You want to find a title company to work with on a consistent basis, just so it helps your business flow smoother when you have that built strong relationship. It's just like using the same contractor or a loyal set of buyers, cash buyers, or if they use hard money or whatever, but your investors, or your wholesale JV partners, or even your go-to source for leads. Everything is about relationships. Your network is truly your net worth. It's not good to always be jumping from source to source. It just causes a lot of confusion when you're bouncing around like that. What I suggest is letting your buyers or your sellers pick their title company the first few times until you're able to compare what you like and dislike in a title company. Ironically, the way that I found my preferred title company is because I worked in their office. No, I didn't work for them, but the company I was working for shared office space with them. I love the people there, I love how fast they work, and the most important thing, I love their communication. I have met other people at different title companies, but I never felt as cared about as I did at L&C Title. This is not a sponsorship at all. I just really love them, and they deserve any of the business that this video can provide for them. So of course, you can compare things to find what you like. You can compare prices, you can compare closing time, you can compare communication skills, and you can even compare what they provide in their services. There's a certain title company that I've worked with twice, and each time they did not release a HUD statement to me. I've worked with 4 title companies, and they're the only one who has said that I had to have I had to get a copy of the HUD from the seller. I don't understand why that is, especially when I verbally requested it both times. And in email, actually. And over the phone. Well, that's verbal, but in person, over the phone, and email, so... As a wholesaler, it may not be as important for you to have a HUD document, but if you eventually want to start buying properties, you want to study as many things as possible. I want to see what happens if I use a lender. I want to see what happens if I use cash. I want to see what happens when the title is transferred to my name. I can't change their policies, so I'll just do my best to not do business with them anymore. And it all goes back to relationships. When I eventually get to that point, I imagine that my title company will like to continue doing business with me. Now, I have a policy for my buyers that says closing will be at L&C Title or the buyer pays all closing costs. How does that make sense? I usually like to cover the closing costs for my sellers depending on the situation. So that means that I am paying a company for their services. If I don't like their services, I don't want to pay. Yes, it's possible to work with 2 different title companies on one deal, but I've tried that before and it's an even bigger headache. So if I pay any money, I'm going to my title company because I really just don't want to deal with anyone else. Once you get enough experience, you'll be able to make better or smarter decisions like that. Another way to figure out who you like is how they communicate. On one hand, you can compare response time or keeping you updated. If you're constantly having to reach out instead of the title company reaching out to you when they get new information, it can kind of be upsetting. Also, you feel like you're not being treated as priority. And it feels like they're only going to make a move on your file when you reach out to them about it instead of continuously working on it. I don't know the specifics of title work, but I could imagine that it's in chronological order. Also, you might like to talk on the phone to check on your deals. If no one ever answers the phone and you always have to leave a voicemail and get a call back, that can be frustrating. Or even the opposite. You may hate talking on the phone, but you like emailing. Maybe they are slow to emailing and they'll call you instead of emailing you to give you updates about your file. Those may seem petty, but you have to remember that a lot of people get into wholesaling while they have another job. If you don't have your computer with you, you can't email often. If you don't have a phone on you, then you can't get calls. So you have to find what's best for your situation. Or even just your liking. Who's going to judge you? Who knows why you're judging the title? Who cares? Be petty if you want to. It's your money. I'm now at a point where I can text my attorney and his legal assistant, so it's very convenient for me since I prefer texting. If you know about my company, MTW Properties, I always say call or text our company phone number. I will respond much faster to a text. I always prefer texting or face-to-face communication. Texts are usually just straight to the point, like ABC. And I can read your face while we're talking, face to face, looking at each other. There's this weird mix that happens when you're talking on the phone, and it makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes. That's just me, but yeah, regardless, we're moving on. You can also base your preference on location. If you like going to every single closing to get the experience, then you might want to choose a company close to your house in case you run late or you want to go there often to get to know the staff. The people who work there, the employees, the attorneys. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Our title company is pretty far from our house and office, but like I said, I worked in the same space as them, so I got comfortable pretty fast. There is another attorney I would consider. He actually closed my first deal, and I have nothing negative to say about him at all based on my experience with him. If you guys, I'm not sure, when is this video coming out? Yeah, if you guys watched the live Q&A, a guy named Melvin, he was commenting on the one featuring Devin Davis a lot, and he uses the same attorney. His name's Oscar. So, if you're in the Memphis area, you may know of Oscar Malone, but he's a pretty cool guy. I have nothing negative to say about him. And he would definitely be my second choice as a closing attorney for, just in case anything was to happen to L&C or just whatever. But the other two title companies just give me that bad vibes, and I just like working with mine now. And that just goes to show you that you have options that you want to choose from. Because if I went with the second title company that I closed a deal with, I would get very slow service, and I would always have to bug them about moving on my case. I really don't like that. And you can also base your choice off of whether you prefer a check or a bank wire. If you want your bank wire fast, and a title company takes a while to do it, then obviously you may not want to work with them. Or maybe the wiring fee is a bit high. Or the fact that there's a wire fee at all. It may be a factor for you, so it all just depends. I personally like picking up checks. There's just a different feeling you get rather than getting a direct deposit. So as long as they make paper checks, I'm probably going to be using those for my closings unless I'm out of town or something. I hope you guys can hear the train. That's really frustrating. Go away, train. Go away. And there are just so many factors that you can base your choice off of. But that's not to be taken into extremely petty reasons. Their logo is cute. The head attorney is really cute. Their office smells nice. I guess. Like I said, no one's looking, no one knows, but, So. But the things you want to look for are the things that actually matter to you and your business. You can take a look at the characteristics. How long they have actually been in business. Maybe you want someone who's been in business for a long time. Or maybe you want a company that's new and up to date with technology. As long as you feel comfortable with the people you're working with, you'll be fine. Okay, Renicorns, that's it for this video. Make sure you write in the comments if you prefer to pick up a check or a bank wire. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!